Hey you guys, this is Yolanda from Yology Holistic Wellness, and I'm making this video in regards to October's energy forecast. There's a lot of excitement in the air, as well as a lot of unseen things. It's going to be a month about shifts and turns. It is a lot of different unforeseen things happening, not directly towards yourself, but more about like what's happening around you. So the biggest energy shift is going to be on 1010. This is when we're going to have a lot of different portals open up, which means that there's going to be many different energies going around. And then you have also the shift with, Halloween, because that does bring other additional portals that will begin to open, and things like that. So October is a month about transformation, and it's about shadow work. And I know the last 3 months have been about shadow work. September not so much, because it kind of seemed like in August when we went through that shadow work, we brought ourselves within the light and kind of released what we didn't need for September, which is great. But this month we're going to go back. It kind of leads us down back into the shadow work, in a different category, not what you probably experienced with August. So it's really a month about on a different note. So it is important to set the tone, to focus on clearing tensions, focusing on the things that you desire, especially before the 1010 portal. One being the starting point for new and fresh things. New is about new beginnings, venturing out on new things, and 0 is the number of starting from nothing. It's like, when you start 0, it's from scratch. This creates fear because it is the unknown. It's kind of like the fear factor that we kind of went through when we experienced Ida last year, when we had to start from scratch, from nothing, that kind of fear, but on a more spiritual note, because we're not affected by what was from last year. So this is more internal. So this can be recognized, and so when we're blindsided, for new beginnings, that kind of creates a resistance to what change is about to happen, even though we feel and intuitively know, that something big is coming. There could be excitement, and sometimes there's lack of. So it just depends on what's going on within you. So it's important to remain detached from all outcomes and all expectations, and just kind of trust your higher self into the path that it's leading you on when you are going through these shifts. So detachment is one of the biggest things that we do need to focus on. This is the process of not becoming absorbed with the outcome. It also allows the process to go a lot smoother. It's important to acknowledge your feelings, but not to be led by them or have them control your experiences. October is going to be very promising and very happening. It is going to set the tone for November and December. There's not going to be too much shadow work those 2 months as opposed to October. October is, again, about transformation. It's about rebirth, rebirthing into something new, because you have November 1st, which is like All Saints Day, and then you have Halloween and everything, and then we have the 1010 portal, which is really, really big. So it's gonna be exciting. So even though there may be times or experiences that you go throughout the month that may be kind of hectic or chaotic, or it just may be in disbelief because of the things that are happening around you, it's really important to, side note, to come back internally and self-reflect, so that way you're not being dominated by outside distractions, and things like that. There are going to be a lot of events that are going to be somber things and events that I call them that will take place because of the intense energies. People who are not aware may be going through their own healing crisis, and this in effect can create a snowball or a domino effect. It's important to not feel or not feed into this fear and to detach. That is what, like I said before, that is what shadow work is all about. So it's about integrating. Shadow work is about integrating the dark within the light, not, allowing that negative aspect of the self to kind of send you down the I call it the rabbit hole, like Alice in Wonderland. Shadow work is about taking responsibility for your own actions. It's healing your inner child. You could find yourself confronting some of, a lot of fears this month, as well as detachments. So fears and detachments are the two main things that are actually being brought to the surface this month. So back in September, when we had the shadow work that we were quite dealing with, it was kind of more related to internal emotions, like wounds that were traumatic, that dealt with emotions. Fears are emotions, but this month is more about fears, like overcoming those obstacles and not becoming attached to what the stuff that's happening outside of you, or reacting, as well as letting go of your own detachments from a false belief system. It's important to note that as you work through your issues, it's vital to be empathic towards others and considerate, because this not only boosts your energy field, it also boosts your aura, it boosts your environment, it boosts your vibrations, and you'll also be doing a service to humanity. So when you treat that same person with the way that you want to be treated, regardless of how their reactions are or how their behavior sets the tone, being a service to humanity is being kind to yourself and overcoming what the fear of that situation is, and sharing that space of love and just kindness. Remember, being empathic doesn't mean helping others, it doesn't mean that you have to help others and ignore your boundaries. Boundaries are so important. It's important to have healthy boundaries. The healthy boundaries was part of the shadow work for September. So if you didn't heal from that and stick with your boundaries, you may be actually going back to that space for October, on top of everything that we just spoke about, which is fear and detachment. So if you have not healed from maintaining healthy boundaries, then you will have to confront that this month. So it is important to maintain that while helping other. Also, not becoming attached to other people's emotions or influences. A lot of people this month are going to be having different perspectives. We have a lot of things going around. We have politics, we have the economy, we have it's just social, a whole bunch of stuff. It's a whole bunch of BS. And so with all of this going on, it's important to sit back, take a breath, and really dig into why is this triggering you, instead of I should be doing something about it. Because if you react, the situation just could become worse. And so that's why detachment for this month is very important. If you make, don't sit there and make a mountain out of a molehill. Remain within your truth, and remain in your own perspective on what your truth is. Like I said, as this is the time to also shed light on shadow work on phobias as well, because as fears come into play and detachment, so do phobias. So a lot of people around you are going to be dealing with phobias. This could be phobias about finances, politics, the economy, root chakra issues, those sort of things. So it's really important, especially work environment. So it's really important to stay reserved, internal, and focus on you, because as this month deals with fears, detachments, and those other things, those around you that are going to be within, that are not aware, that are going to be experiencing this, their energies will trigger or will reflect, like, not reflect, I don't want to say reflect, will bounce off of you. And if you're not within your safe haven of mindfulness, high vibrations, and unconditional love, you will, likely get triggered. And so it's really important for the month of October to stay, as I call it, internal. So, and focus on those things that you do want, because this month is a big month. So if you've been dealing with any of those things, right now is the time to explore, work on them, dig deep, and create a spiritual self-care practice to overcome all of those. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Look for the next one for next month. Transformation is all about balancing. We have to create a balance, integrate the dark within the light. So I wish you guys the best. Peace, light, and love, and bye.